Hello, Excellence family. Welcome to Title Tuesday. For those of you who don't know us, I know we had a lot of new people join. It's Danny Barnes, Director of Agent Relations, and I'm here with Paul Sardone, real estate attorney with Excellence Title. Today, he's going to cover fraud in real estate. How you doing, Paul? Good to see you.
Doing good. Thanks, Danny.
Good. I'll turn it over to you at this time. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. I want to cover this topic because unfortunately it's something that we're constantly dealing with, and we're dealing with it more and more, and it's pretty interesting. I've seen more activity and in seminars that I've done and trainings, they're saying with COVID is actually more prevalent now, the real estate fraud, because since a lot of us are not face to face, a lot of things are being handled online. There is more opportunity for fraudsters to basically get in there and control the transaction. So, to keep it brief, there's three types of fraud that are the most prevalent. The first one, I'm sure a lot of agents have heard of, and the one that I think most affects you is wire fraud. Okay, so we're constantly protecting our wire instructions. With us, one of the good things with us is that since we have the system where you order online directly through our website, we've cut out the middleman, where a lot of times if an agent's dealing with another title company, there could be scammers that are basically monitoring the title company's email or your email as an agent, and will get in there and change or send false wiring instructions, which then causes your clients to wire, whether it be an escrow deposit or cash to close. And there are many, many cases of real estate attorneys, title companies, and even real estate companies that hold deposits where money has been sent to the wrong accounts. The information gets hijacked, and money, large sums of money in some cases have been sent to accounts that then disappear.
And real quick, I mean, I'm familiar a little bit with this. They're so professional and so good. They change one or two numbers,
yeah,
and send it to that client, and they just,
and then that account, and it goes offshore and it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. So the key to that, when you're working with us, we have the website. You can also call it Verify. But if you're working with outside title companies, and they send your client or you information on wire, just have your client, before sending the wire, call in and speak to somebody at the title company at the phone number registered for them, not one on an email says, hey, call me here because I'm working, from home. Try to communicate with the person you've been dealing with, verify who they say they are, and verify those wiring instructions. That's the easiest way to prevent it. The second one that we're seeing is when you're dealing with LLCs as sellers. There's people have hijacked on, whether it be on Sunbiz, when they file the annual report, anybody can file the annual report. So we've seen cases of people get on there, they see someone who hasn't filed the annual report yet, close to the deadline, they will file it, see their real estate holdings, and change the name to themselves on there, as whether it be a president or vice president of a corporation, a manager in an LLC. And then if you don't verify, you think you're dealing with the members of that company who's selling you real estate and really has no authority or no control over it, which is a scary one. But with us, at least, and you should verify that if you're not working with us, whoever is dealing with LLC has done this, we verify whether it be operating agreements. I look at all the history of the corporation, corporate resolutions, everything has to be notarized, witnessed, so there's other people on the hook for it. But the LLC fraud is something that, especially in South Florida, has become probably the biggest way that there's transfers of real estate. And imagine you own a company, you forget to file your report, somebody else files it, next thing you know, they're selling a property that you own and taking that money, and you have no idea that you lost the property. So wow. It's important to work with people who know about these things and who know what to look for. And the last one, which I just came across on a deal, is quitclaim deed fraud, where, given the sophistication of online, of all these softwares where you can create notary seals, printers, high resolution, there's a lot of fake documents that look real. So just to give you an example of the quitclaim deed fraud, I just had a case. It was an $800,000 commercial sale of a lot with a warehouse on it in Miami. And I noticed that the person selling had just taken title by quitclaim deed for zero consideration. There was no doc stamps paid on it in April. And the sale was going to happen, I think, in June. And it was a church that was deeding over the property to him. And it just didn't seem, I looked up the notary, I couldn't find them. I was trying to track them down and see. So I asked for more verification. I said, well, I need a corporate resolution from the church showing that whoever signed it was authorized, because it wasn't clear the names. Bottom line is I ended up, just, even though they provided some documents, I contacted the church and they had no idea of this deed. The property was basically abandoned. They were not operating out of that church anymore. It was, it was an abandoned building on a lot, but it still had value. And this guy had seen the abandoned property and created a fraudulent quitclaim deed to himself and was trying to sell it for $800,000. Which is actually a deal that was probably worth closer to 1.1. So we reported it to authorities. We're in the process of that now. But if it hadn't been, if that, somebody would have transferred this guy $800,000, my client was the buyer. And sometimes when things are seem too good to be true, they usually are. So in that case, he thought he was getting an excellent deal on that lot. And I just, from talking to the seller, one time I spoke to him, he didn't have an attorney. He didn't want to hire an attorney, even though I told him he probably should, to represent you in the sale. And he's like, oh, it should be simple. And I just didn't get a good feeling from the guy from the start. So we knew about these things and to look into it. But otherwise, that could have been disastrous, where my client would have, closed on a deal for $800,000. This guy would have received it, disappeared somewhere. And then, so those are the things. When somebody just took title by quitclaim deed, there's extra steps of verification that we need to do. As agents, there's not much that you can do, but just make sure you're protecting your clients by working with people who know to look out for these things and protect your client's interests.
Wow, that's just one more benefit to using Excellence Title, because you're going to be all over everything and monitor all that stuff. So,
yep, it's scary stuff, but unfortunately, that's the world we live in today, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Oh, it'll get worse.
They're getting better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. I didn't mean to bring the doom and gloom today, but it's just things we got to consider. But otherwise, everything good. We continue to appreciate the support. Hope everybody's happy with the service. A lot of people continue to reach out on the chat, and I'm helping you out. Whatever you guys need, we're there for you.
Right. Awesome. That's amazing information. So. Well, listen, thanks for joining us today, and we'll be back in probably 2 weeks. And as always, together moving forward.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.